Okay, I think we ended up last time with we were um, in part 7. I hope this is recording. Here we go. We were ready for part 7 of dejection, and we were talking about that sense that the harp matches Coleridge's own feelings as he's afraid that his addiction and his inability to that he feels to create. He doesn't want to feel, and how can a poet write without feeling? Notice by stanza 7 that hints viper thoughts, that these thoughts themselves are restricting him, like a snake wrapping around and choking him out. Hence viper thoughts. I turn from you. Okay, I can't stick here on this idea of my genial spirits fail. So I'm listening to the wind, and meanwhile, what that harp's doing. Notice it sounds almost like agony by torture, mad lutenist. That they hear that harp's going crazy, and we sense to the storm both emotionally as well as that storm outside that new moon with the old moon in her arms foretold. That here it's going crazy, and that image there of that thou actor perfect in all tragic sounds, thou mighty poet, that connection of wind, which also, that image of inspiration comes from the wind itself. And then we watch the harp do some different kinds of sounds. What are you now telling? And we end up, with hush. So we've got these different sounds. It's silent a minute, and then it's sweet, groans of trampled men, and how painful that switching, and then we end up ultimately there of a little child who sounds a little bit like Wordsworth's Lucy Gray. There on this how the wind harp changes spirits, changes moods, rather like we're seeing Coleridge himself do. And then there's stanza 8. Okay, I'm not thinking of sleep, but I hope my friend, that old lady, the image there of that he's chosen here to speak of Sarah. I hope you don't have many nights like this, and good wishes, well wishes for the woman who's pure, where he sees himself as just so destroyed and so self-destructive, that here, joy lift her spirits, that back to that sense of her, to her may all things live, and that, you keep your joy. And our sense here of Coleridge in dejection, that definitely I've lost mine. Now, yes, the poetry inspiration has come back. He's written one great poem, but notice that sense there that I'm losing that ability, and also that sense back there that, okay, I've written this poem, but every time I write, my genial spirits fail, and I'm using up what little bit of creativity I've got left. Okay, on from dejection then to the poem to William Wordsworth. And think about, as you're reading this one, this is the night that Coleridge first hears Wordsworth read from the Prelude. He's first hearing that draft copy. And remember, Wordsworth had been, I'm afraid this isn't what you want, and I'm apologizing, and I know I should be doing my philosophic poem. Notice Coleridge loves it. Philosophic poem or not, he likes this childhood poem. But also think about it from your own perspective. Here, he sees himself as such a horrible failure. And his buddy Wordsworth is writing wonderful stuff. So in the midst of this, Wordsworth, you're friend of the wise, teacher of the good, that on first hearing this poem, Coleridge is absolutely wowed. And they're, it's prophetic. It's a high theme. You're the first one who's ever sung this in the right way. This is great, Wordsworth. That image there, the building up of a human spirit, the building up of this poet. I'm afraid this probably isn't recording correctly. I hope it is, but let me play.